Hi, so today I thought I'd show you a flip through of my completed Hobonichi A6 techo for 2022. So this was my daily journal, and yeah, I completed it last year, and I'll show you the pages one by one. So right now it's in this cover called Spruced Up Cat, but last year I interchanged it with other covers as well. So I used this cover, which is like the Umiya Tea Time cover. I also used it with the Bonbon plaid cover. And now this houses another notebook, and it also has a postcard in front. And then I also had this pink cover with the printed cover on cover. So yeah, these were all of the covers I used in 2022. So this is my notebook again, and I'll just show the pages one by one, and I'll speak or explain when I have to. So the front sections and the monthlies I didn't use so much. I tried to use these pages as a health log, but that didn't really continue because I tracked everything on my phone regarding health. So I'm gonna skip through these pages, and also the monthlies I just use them sporadically, so I won't spend too much time going through them. This was my collage for the New Year part of the page, or the New Year part of the book. So I just used some washi journaling stickers to create this collage, and I'm happy with how it turned out. Now we go on to the dailies. Here I had time to make a drawing for the January cover page. And this notebook, at the beginning, I tried to use it as a bullet journal where I also wrote down my to-dos for the day, and beside that I wrote my thoughts and some other notes. But eventually I just used it purely as my free-flowing thoughts journal. You can see that as we go throughout the book. And I use different stickers and as well as drawings to decorate my techo, and also, you know, some bits of packaging that I receive. If they're cute, I will paste it into this notebook. So I go back here to show you that this is a way of how I use the page more functionally. Like I wrote a timetable over here, my to-do lists here and here, and just smaller notes about my day. So that's an idea of how you can use this notebook if you're wanting to have functional spreads for it. Yeah. February also had a drawing. And by the way, I will blur out some of the pages if the information there is too sensitive, or if I don't feel comfortable showing what I wrote. I will blur those out. Sometimes I also try to color coordinate the ink with the color of the pages because the Hobonichi original techo has different colors for each month. So I think this is for April. I used Pilot, Iroshizuku, and Yamabudo, which is not an exact match, but it coordinated. And this is May, which is a better match because the pages were green and I used Robert Oster's Melon ink. So yeah, I used a mix of fountain pens and gel pens to write on this notebook, but eventually I kind of got tired with the fountain pen ink smudging, so I used a gel pen most of the time. On some days, I'd be more inspired to make doodles or to make drawings, so they have drawings instead of stickers. Yeah, they don't always turn out pretty, but I just want to doodle sometimes. Some of these pages are my favorite pages. So for July, I had a bunch of these sticky notes with prints on them. So I used one for my cover page. And yeah, and July was a blue month, so I used a blue gel pen to write my entries. The gel pen here is the Zebra Sarasa Vintage in blue-gray, and these blue spreads are also some of my favorites. I think they're really cute and I like how they look on the page. Oh, I stopped using the pen. So for August, I used the same type of sticky note to decorate the page. And August had these pages that are purple-gray, and I found a fountain pen ink that is almost the exact match for August. And this is Sailor Shikiori in Chushu, which is a gray with like purple undertones. So yeah, I love how they almost matched. And I also liked how these pages turned out. I think they're super cute and girly. Just a different aesthetic for me. So for September, I made a small collage for the monthly page, and I used brown inks for September. I think these inks are mostly Zebra Tharasa Vintage in brown gray. And some of the inks are also Robert Oster in Cafe Crema. That's the lighter brown ink that you see. Like this one. This is Robert Oster in Cafe Crema. And here I want to show you my mistake. So on September 28th, I wrote the entry for September 29 because I don't know, skipped the page. So on the next page, I just wrote like a note that says, oops, wrong page. And yeah, I just wanted to encourage you to continue writing on your notebook, even if you do make mistakes, or even if your pages don't turn out to be pretty or the aesthetic that you wanted. Yeah, because it's it's something nice to do every day, and looking back, you will find a completed notebook that perfectly captures your entire year. And I think that's a really neat keepsake to have. So now we're in October, and October is actually my birth month. So in October, I watched a few concerts, and one of them was for 17. I also watched TXT's concert. And yeah, so now we're in November, and for this month I also used a Sarasa gel pen, and it's in green black, which matched the color of the pages. Over here you can see that I drew a bit more, like I made more doodles, and I was really going through it in November. So we're now down to our last month, December, and for December I used a different gel pen for each day. I used the Uniball 1 gel pens, and it came in like different color sets. So I used the autumn color set, the winter color set, and the French antique set. So I used a different gel pen per day, and some of the inks are more legible than the others. But yeah, you can still, read it when you're in good light. Maybe they won't show up as well in the camera, but in real life I can still read even some of the fainter inks. So yeah, my favorite ones I think are the red one and the peach and the blue one from the French antique set. And that's the end of the daily pages. I'll show you how I used the back pages as well. So here I wrote my 2022 wins, like my favorite memories of the year, I think. And also I created a page for a happiness log where I wrote down small things that made me happy on that day. And yeah, these pages didn't get updated as regularly, but I thought that they were a nice idea to have for this techo. And at the back, there's this page called My 100, and this one I used to track my favorite songs of 2022. So I just wrote them down, and I didn't reach 100 favorite songs. I was only up to 30, so that's also something fun to look back on. And yeah, I think those were all of my important pages. At the back, there's really nothing. So that's my completed techo for 2022. I'm also, of course, continuing my journaling in an A6 techo for this year, 2023. And I showed my journal in my last video, I think. Maybe I'll make another video dedicated to that notebook in the upcoming days. But yeah, so that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found some ideas or some inspiration from this techo flip through.